drivers because of me and DJ. So 19 drivers in total here. That is an exciting number. This is the most we have ever had in a purpose racing race. I think ever. I'm not too sure about the other series, but it is the most we've had in the FIA WEC series. And here we go for the formation lap behind the safety car. Our safety car today being DJ. DJ, the absolute hero of purpose racing. Everybody loves DJ. If you don't love DJ, then what do you love? You know? And there he pulls away. So the speed limit for the safety car is 95 kilometers per hour, or I think that is 60 miles per hour. I don't know. I don't do American. And that is almost all of them through the first corner. Let's go to someone more in the middle of the field so we can have a look at all of the cars that are just sitting there waiting to start. They're doing a full lap before they hit the line, and when they hit the line, they all accelerate. Magic, right? Pretty easy to remember, I think. I think a standing start for these cars would be pretty chaotic. This is an endurance race, a whole 1 hour of racing, so can't win it on the first lap, that's for sure. Although I'm sure there will be people who are trying to win it on the first lap. I mean, I would. I love winning things on the first lap. I don't know, just me. I need to charge my phone, it's on 50%. Hooray. Let's head further back, so I can have a look at other drivers. Go to Duan. Duan being Bov's teammate, Bov being the owner of the league, Bov the angel of, I don't know, Ford Motorsport 7 leagues or something. I don't know. It's actually Duan's teammates, as I mentioned just a couple seconds earlier. Bov. They are. Oh yeah, that is. How would I say the name of this driver over here? Let's have a look. So it is. Okay, I'll just call him Mix. Or I could call him Titty. No. I think I'll just call him Mick. So this is Mick in a sandwich right now. A BMW sandwich. He is stuck between the two teammates of Bov and Duan. You can see the similarities between their cars. Very oh! And Ness, who just seemed to slow down, gets ruined by Duan. What just happened over there? Okay, glad I caught that. Okay. Somebody taking my brake test a little too serious here. And I did tell the safety car to brake test, but clearly we had a driver who decided to brake test one of the BMWs. Interesting, yeah. I'm sure they'll have something to say about that after the race. Peculiar stuff. And I hope you know when you're watching the stream replay that I caught it. You were caught on stream, slowing down and getting rear-ended by Duan. Absolutely caught in 480p. I can't say 4K because then I'd just be lying to myself and everyone who was watching the stream. I think there's one other person watching the stream right now, apart from me on my laptop. See the chat. Let's head back to our safety car. So going through the last few corners. I think this will be a great race on a track like this. Always a good and fun track to drive. We were expecting the Fords to be dominant this weekend, but unfortunately for them, they were not. It is the BMW that, it's actually the BMWs in general that lock out the top two. There's one Porsche that is in third, that being Spooky, in the Lemon team car. Or Le Mans, I think it's Le Mans. No, I call it Lemon. I think it's pronounced Le Mans. I was talking to Bob and I think he said it's pronounced Le Mans. Right, so there is DJ going into the pits. Let's hop onto our driver in third, rather. No, fourth. Let's hop onto the driver in fourth so we can get a view from there. Or rather right in the middle. I'm being indecisive here. Here they go through the last few corners to start the 1 hour of Spa. 19 drivers. And that means half of that because there's 2 categories. And they start. Looks like quite the gap already made between the top 3 here. And we have a little look up from Sam as he tries to catch up into the first corner. Ursel, hopefully, he, in his head, he wants to hopefully run away with it. But I think Sam will keep up. I'm not too sure. The Porsche seems a little bit, slidey around here. So nothing too exciting happening on the start. Let's head further back, because that is where the action always is. And it is Spooky, who is by Ness. Was Spooky wasn't in third, was he? Why did I see his car in third? Okay, that's my bad. Anyway, Spooky, who was going around the outside of Ness here. Ness, the guy who seemed to have a little problem there and was rear-ended by Doohan on the formation lap. Not a great look. And Spooky gets passed around the outside. That is Jay Sentra getting past the BMW there. Who is that? That is Doohan. Doohan is fighting back. He's switching back and he's going on the inside now. Mick is just staring at this fight happen, waiting for an opportunity to slip down the inside, I presume. They are side by side going through this corner. Whatever this corner is, I should probably find out. Let's just head to the website. Ooh. And looks like Jay Sentra is pushed pretty far out, and Mick and Doohan both go past. I wasn't really looking because I was looking for the site, so that is my bad. Anyway, let's see. Could Mick be actually catching the BMW of Doohan? He's very close to him. It's a very nice livery on that. That Ford. My bad. Very nice livery on that Ford. I actually have no audio. I should probably have at least some audio, so I can hear somewhat what's going on. Otherwise, I'm just listening to my own voice the whole time. Not great. Let's head further back. We've not been giving the AM drivers any attention this race. It doesn't look like anything has been going on. It is a little fight between Chicken and Law here. Let's just have a look at where they are. So, Mist has Mist a pro driver. Yeah, Mist is a pro driver. So Nods still currently leads. Nods starting on pole, Sideways in second, Chicken in third, Law in fourth. So nothing has actually changed so far, it appears. And there are some drivers far at the back, so maybe they have had some incidents previously. These two probably hit each other or something, because they are both quite far back. The DHL team car. Let's go to the fight at the back of GTE Pro. We have the Flying Lizard Porsche, who is attacking Bov, and hoping for a good run up here. It looks like Bov does get the better run, going slightly sideways though. That might not help him at all, and I think Mist is going to catch him on the straight. Yes, going around the outside. Bov defends to the inside, and they're side by side, and the Porsche actually gets past, so that straight line speed is quite beneficial right now for the Porsche on this long straight. Ooh, Bov is going to look down the inside, but it is not going to work out. Right here. Bov actually already has a 2-second time penalty for abusing the track limits. Domestic abuse of the track limits is not permitted in this league, by the way. It's not very nice. Bov is getting very close through a lot of the corners, and he's actually touching the Porsche a little bit on the corner exit. He's really trying to get past on the inside there. Let us hop on with Bov. Bov now down in 11th. I think that makes him last in Pro. Ooh, and he's going side by side down the inside, but he has to pull out. Yeah. Gonna try it around the outside. Mist is having a lot of pressure put on him. How long can he survive with the pressure of the league owner, who will ban you if you beat him? That is obviously a joke. Ooh, and the Porsche goes wide and drifts. And Volvo is going to take that place. So the pressure did get to him, and he made quite the mistake. Now Mist will catch up in the straight line here just a little bit. He's going to either try it around the outside or down the inside. Depends on how Valve defends it. Doesn't really matter how you defend it, because it is a chicane. Each guy will get an inside and an outside. Ooh, what just happened there? So Valve braking very late. Actually touches the rear of Ness, and is going for a move on him as well. Very late braking there. And Reversal is still leading. They 219 last lap, and ooh, Valve locking up just a little bit, trying to defend from Mist. He cuts the corner entirely, and that's going to give him a pretty hefty penalty, I would imagine. There's the time intervals there, so Mist still somewhat close, and I'd imagine Valve has quite a hefty penalty after that very obvious cut of the first corner there. Let's just have a look at his time penalty. So he only has 2 seconds, so he did not get penalized for cutting that corner, and he sends it down the inside of Ness and on Jay, almost making a double overtake. He does? Can he? He's in the process, and he does. Valve with an amazing double overtake there. Wow. He sure does like breaking late, and ooh, Ness making a move on Jay, and actually sending it down the inside on Valve, just knocking him just a little bit. Valve now stuck on the outside, who's going to get the inside for this corner. The action very, very good. And Valve slots in between the two forwards. A forward sandwich, it's keeping it very close between these four here. This is a fight for 8th. Look at how close that is. This is racing. I like it when cars go around in circles. And Valve is looking around the outside there. I think he's looking at the inside thinking, should I dive bomb? The answer is no, you shouldn't. I mean, but you could if you wanted to. That'd be good for the stream. Ooh, what just happened there? So, ooh, Mist losing the car there through that corner again. He did the same thing last lap. Still a forward sandwich. Would a forward sandwich taste good? I don't know. I'll never find out, because I'm not racing. Is that nods? What the hell? So that is a AM driver. That is an AM driver, a GTE AM driver, who is right up the back of the rear pack in GTE Pro. What the hell is going on? Just to remind you, the Pro drivers are usually supposed to be much faster than the AM drivers, but all their fighting has led not to catch up, and there's actually been something going on there. Moving to Jay, I think Jay's just been overtaken by the Porsche, yes, so Porsche sends it, is what that looked like, locks up, and it's a little bit of a scrappy pass. The Porsche with that crazy straight line speed slides through the corner and cuts it, getting repassed by JJ, who goes off onto the grass. I'm not too sure what is going on. And Nods inching ever closer to this group. Valve is now quite a comfortable gap now between the two drivers after their battling. It does look like Mist has the better pace and is gonna go for that move soon enough. Ooh, and Jay goes off. I'm not so sure what goes on there. Could he have been rear-ended by Mist? That doesn't really make sense because he wouldn't go off like that. He would just get a slight bump draft. So he loses control of his car in the straight and goes off into the grass. He's actually trying for a move on Mist again. And he gets past Mist. And Nods is still quite close to the group here. Nods being the AM driver who is leading right now. And that looks like Law behind him. So Law, I think, is in second. He locks up, having a look down the inside. So we could see a fight here between an AM driver and a Pro driver. This group are falling really far behind, fighting and fighting. Not a great idea. But, you know, non-stop competition. And I'm certainly loving it. And so it looks like Mist is going to go around the outside. Mist is outside. Jay is going inside, which is now going to turn onto the outside. Let's see how this goes. Ooh, Mist touching the grass, almost going sideways. And they both go side by side through that corner. Not going off for either of them. They both go off. And let's just see who's ahead of each other as the corner comes. Ooh, Nods. Nods is challenging for the second last place in GTE Pro. Ooh, and he gets knocked. He gets knocked by the Porsche. So Nods, he didn't hit the wall. He managed to keep it out of the wall, which means he has not got his race ruined by a Porsche. Oh wait, he's actually been passed. So him being knocked by the Porsche there that Porsche being missed has sent him further back, and he is now behind Law. So that is, I'm sure, very frustrating for him, being pushed by the Porsche. And I'm sure it'll be his lifelong goal to catch up. So I think a little bit too messy. I'm not really liking what's going on at the moment. There's way too much clashing, you know. It's only the beginning of the race. I think you should be quite respectful at the beginning. And it's actually Law who's catching up with the group here. So you might just see another scrap between an AM and a pro driver. These two have fallen behind very far. 4 seconds now is the gap between these two and Bov. So they have pretty much put themselves in that place and could end up losing overall place to the AM cars. But it looks like Jay is running away with it a bit, gaining some time on the Porsche driver of Mist in the Flying Lizard car. Let's move on to our fight for... Okay, so Reversal has absolutely run away with it, and is 5 seconds ahead of the nearest driver. That is, it's pretty nice. So it is only then a fight for second here, between Sam and Swin. Swin has been keeping a pretty nice distance, but it doesn't look like it's been getting any closer since the race started. Top one with Kaz. Kaz, who is the winner of the last race. That was his first race in Silverstone. He won it for the Porsche team. Look at that livery. Ooh. It's actually a fight. Mick. So Mick is still fighting with Duan. I think, yeah, this is the highest the Ford has gone in this race. Despite us thinking that the Ford would be the best car for this track, but it doesn't appear so. Okay, let's go look for another battle, shall we? Over to Ness. Ness, let me just remind you, being the driver who, I don't know what happened in the formation lap, but he got rear-ended by Bov, not Bov, Duan, sorry. He got rear-ended by Duan, because he slowed down a lot. So Ness is running away from Bov, and Bov looks like he's going to have quite a lonely race in 9th. Here is Bov. Ooh, and the fight between these two is getting closer, and Mist actually touching the rear right side of Jay's car. Aha. Okay, so he's gained a bit of a gap again on the Porsche of Mist. It looks a lot closer from the hood cam than I might have thought from the replay cameras. Here is our leader in AM. Sort of, you know, a lead he got from a bit of a scrap ahead earlier. So let me just re-explain. So Nods was leading. Nods actually started fighting the pro cars at the back, and he was immediately, well, not immediately, but in the last corner, he was pushed out wide by the Porsche, and clearly it lost him enough time to get overtaken by Law, but he has caught up to Law actually quite a bit since that incident. Alright, these two are getting close again. So a scrap is imminent. These two have been pretty rough with each other pretty much the whole race so far. Oh, and Must taking a very good line there. I don't know if he actually got track limits or not, but he is going alongside the Ford on the outside, coming up to Eau Rouge. Oh, and he does back out. That is the good idea. It is a good idea to back out before a corner like that. Nothing much going on. I'm actually a little bored right now. After that amazing first few laps, we seem to have nothing but quietness. Actually, looks like that might not last for long, because we hop on with Sebastian, the driver for the Ferrari factory team in GTEM, and he's been chased down by Sideways in the Corvette. Sorry, the Corvette with the impossible name to pronounce. I don't think I'll ever be able to pronounce that name correctly, unfortunately, but what can you do? Not much. I guess it is just part of me being white to not understand how to say foreign words. Maybe it's because I'm stupid. Either one. Alright, that's just where I hunger for battles. So all the way at the back here is Ewan. Ewan has pretty much had a very lonely race since the beginning. Not so sure if there's an incident between the last two drivers, but he fell back quite far. It's up back on with Law, who's been chased down by the driver who was on pole, who was pushed out by a Porsche. The last corner, the Porsche that I'm talking about, is just ahead. He is caught up to Law quite a bit, so let's just hop on with him. So this is the battle for first in the GTEM category. Let's hop on roof view. Ooh! Law actually losing it through a Rouge and through Radeon, and pretty much gives up the place there to the Corvette driver, and nods back in first after Law makes a pretty big mistake going through those two corners there. That is something that can happen in the Ferrari. I did test out the Ferrari. It is obviously quite oversteery through the corners, and that is a pretty easy mistake to make through there. So that is Nods, who has put himself back into first after the driver had made a mistake. Here is the driver who's been dropped into second. Law, who's made a very good, has had a good race so far. Law, who qualified fourth, is up into second, was in first temporarily until he made a mistake, and Nods repassed. Right. Ooh. And he's sliding even more through the corner. And he's lost even more time to Nods there. Let's have a look at Chicken. So Chicken looks like he's been having a very lonely race there in third. But it is a podium, and podiums are always good. And I think Chicken got a podium in Silverstone. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Chicken did get a podium in his first race. That was at Silverstone. We had a few new drivers at Silverstone that include Chicken, Kaz, and Spinley. Those are the only three I remember, because they're very cool. Everyone else is cool, but they're just not as cool, you know. You feel me? You feel me? Let's have a look at the fight for first here. Let's see how far behind the Ferrari is coming out of this first corner. Right, I'm on roof cam. That's my bad. Yeah, so Low has dropped quite far, and Spooky has gotten ahead of Duan there, as it just shows us at the top of our screen. So Spooky getting past Duan, who was, I think, he was ahead of Mick, and so it seems to have fallen behind Mick and Spooky. So potentially because of mistakes that has happened, he's now going to fight for that place on the grass. Can you give me a different view? There we go, thank you. That Porsche does have very good straight line speed, so you'll have to hope for a dive bomb of the century here. Spooky is going to defend it to the inside, and Doohan is going to try it around the outside. That's going to turn into the inside if he can hold it. And he doesn't hold it. Okay. All this fighting that is about to ensue, I'm sure, is going to let Mick get away. Just like we saw earlier with Valve and the 2 in last place in GTE Pro. Doohan is going to try it around the outside. He's going to have a look. It's not going to work out. He's going to need to stay in that slipstream and hope for a mistake. They're now coming up. There we go. Through that corner. Coming up to the last 2 turns. This could be a spot for a dive bomb. Let's have a look. He's going wide at the corner, but it doesn't look like Doohan made any move. And Doohan actually going for the early pit stop there. So Doohan in for the early pit stop. I did not actually mention the pit stops, but I'm guessing the pit stop window opened. So he's going to have to do a lot of managing for the rest of the race if he wants to finish it. Quite tough. Finishing the race from an early pit stop, but this is a game of strategy. And I love strategy, because it's strategy. I don't love strategy games. I might get bored if I play one of those, but, you know, cars are cool, and anything in cars is cool, you know. Alright, so our first pit, I think, of the entire session. Our first pit of the entire session being Doohan, and Doohan is actually getting challenged by Nods, through a Rouge, and Nods takes a position through a Rouge, and up through Radion. That's pretty hilarious. Alright, so we have a situation of an AM driver just passing a pro driver through a Rouge. A very, very nice move made there by the AM driver. Doohan is going to hope to get that place back, which I'm sure he can, and he does. Nods presumably giving it to him. He's probably going to want that slipstream to pull further away from Law. Law who's fallen sorry. Law has fallen very far behind since we last had a look at them. Oh. What? Okay, so Law, who's made a mistake, has fallen all the way back to second last. Let me have a look. Oh! I'm surprised. I'm surprised he only fell back that little with making a pit stop. Ooh, and he slides. So Law is actually the first AM driver to make a pit stop. So that is why he was so far back. So he is also going for the early pit stop window to hopefully get himself past the driver in first when he makes his pit stop, which I'm sure he will be gaining on time. He's on fresh tires and he doesn't have to worry about saving fuel for now. Right now, our driver in first in AM will have to worry about his fuel, because he has to make it till quite far. Let me have a look at the info to she. Okay, so we have some more people making pit stops here. So Swin, who's just done his pit stop, and just behind him, Swin is fighting the Porsche and does not get ahead, and I think that'll be a bit of a problem, because that Porsche is quite feisty. Ooh, the Porsche sliding through. Swin also cutting the corner. He's gonna have to slow down if he wants to avoid a penalty. I don't think he does. I doubt he'll get a penalty. That'll be pretty annoying for him. Let's have a look. So Kaz sends a laughing emoji. Swin sends a laughing emoji and says sorry. So maybe something happened in the pit between these two. But clearly they have resolved it very quickly in the chat. Where is Kaz? So Kaz has also made his pit stop, also going on the early strategy. Maybe some other drivers will be going on the early strategy. We don't know yet, because I don't know the pit windows, which I really should find out, but so much action has been happening that I've just not wanted to see. Here we are, let's have a look. So, The pit window A is lap 10 to 11. Okay, so Kaz putting on lap 11 there, along with the other driver. Yeah. So that means nobody else can pit now, apart from the drivers who have already pitted in the early pit window. And pit window B is lap 17 to 18. So drivers will have to save their fuel and tires now. That may not look like much because we are in lap 13, but remember that the average lap around this track is a 2:20 for Pro and a 2:24 for An. Wow. So there's quite a long lap to get penalties, a long lap to make mistakes, and just a lot of things to do. I think saving fuel is going to be quite the task on a track that has so many straights. And I almost feel bad, but also I don't, because I want to see some epic race action. And Swin going very, very wide there and gets passed by Duhan. Duhan. So Duhan passes Swin after Swin goes very wide. Pretty bad mistake to make at that corner. And he locks up just a little bit, trying to brake as late as possible. He's being harassed, absolutely harassed by Kaz. Kaz is going to be looking to get that place. Swin, who was doing quite well, Swin I think was in third there before he made his pit stop. He's going to have to get that place back if he wants to slot back into third. And there is Valve, who's made his way up to fifth, because obviously everyone has pitted for new tires. And Sam might have also pitted for new tires and stuff. Valve is harassing him. I'm just going to call it harassment. So yes, that is Sam, who also pitted in the early pit window, who's being harassed. It's not harassment. By Valve. Valve actually getting very close, bumper to bumper, almost to the next corner. Wow. I don't see that often. Okay, Valve, now dive down the inside, it'll be funny. Okay, I don't think he really should try it. He should be saving his fuel, which I don't think he gives any care in the world to save his fuel. Surprised he is keeping up with Sam here, considering he was nearly last. Clearly not showing us his true potential, only showing us 1% of his power. And what just happened there? Sam going wide and Valve is back on the bumper. It's pretty funny. He's having a look around the outside, coming onto one of the fast corners of the track. He actually makes it. He goes around the outside. Looks like Sam just decided to back out. And Valve has now gone ahead. 11 seconds of penalties for Valve. Oh my. So maybe he was taking advantage of the track to get that place there. A whole 11 seconds. Come on, Valve. What is going on? Oh, I think, well, I'm not too sure it's really just went on there. Let's have a look. So, yeah, pretty much everyone from the back has made it close to the front. Reversal, who is going for the... Oh, Reversal is at a 2:18.8. That is a very, very good lap time there, and is the fastest race lap time so far during the race. Obviously, as you can see, it did tell us that it was him who has the fastest lap. The fastest lap is at 2:18. I don't think anyone is going to beat that lap time. Unfortunately, this weekend we don't have Gruval. Gruval didn't come to qualifying. He did come to the practice, but he did not come to the qualifying. Neither is he here for the race. So no points for him, and the drivers are going to make quite a bit of ground to him. But I think he may still be in first after this in the standings. The absolute alien has gained himself quite a lot of points, but has had a disappointing race last race and has not showed up for this race, which I think he deserves that relaxing for all the dominating he was doing early on. Let's go back to Swin. Swin is within a second of the driver close to him. That is Duhan. The Duhan's still ahead. The two... Oh mein Gott. What is going on over here? So that is Spooky and Mist. Spooky and Mist fighting. Spooky goes down the inside, and Mist just goes past him. Okay, so we have a Porsche fight here between the Leon car and the Flying Lizard. A 2 Porsche fight. I don't think I've seen that actually so far. So equal cars, which means it's all based on driver skill from here. Obviously the cars are as equal as Valve could get them. Valve and whoever else was testing with them at the time. The cars are quite equal, and Valve has done a good job, I think. Not too sure who also did testing with them, but good job to you two. And the Spooky who sends it down the inside. Mist is still trying to protect his position. Mist, who seems to be going for the late pit strategy. I don't know, he has not pitted, otherwise he would not be at this place. So Mist going for the... oh, Spooky trying it again down the inside. And Mist is still trying to keep that position, but I don't think... oh, no, he's still going. It is still a side-by-side fight here. He still has that wheel on him. And who is going to... ooh. And so Mist goes full commitment through Eau Rouge. And actually... has Spooky back out, but now Spooky is alongside him, having a pretty good exit, having a little twitch, and is going to try down the inside again. Spooky very much loving the inside of the corners right now, as is the only thing from saving him from losing time. And Mist just braking so much later than Spooky is keeping his position. Mist, who is still not pitted, he is going for the late pit stop, that being lap 17. He's going to need to save his fuel, because I think that's what you need to do. I'm not too sure. Ooh, Mist drifting, trying to park it on the line just so he can cover off Spooky. He is really not benefiting anyone with by fighting with Spooky. Spooky is going to be falling very far behind. I really wouldn't fight this, because he wouldn't have been fighting Spooky anyway this far back, so he's kind of just blocking him for no reason. Spooky losing a lot of time, which wouldn't be necessary, but you are allowed to fight, I guess. It is within your rights, but it's not necessary for either driver. Having a look around the outside. The outside has been working very well for Mist, so it could be working well for Spooky. It does not, as he slots back behind. Spooky is trying absolutely everything to get past the Porsche driver. They're both in Porsches. Very cool, right? Great observation, made by me, of course. And he is gonna actually, have a look, but it's not gonna be enough. He's gonna have to go for it down the inside here, coming up to the next corner, but I think Mist might cover it off. No, he does not, and he kind of just lets Spooky through, but it's not going to work. Mist always getting very good corner exits, and Spooky having some pretty good braking, and then kind of just losing it. I don't really know what's going on. Spooky is just not able to get past Mist at all. Mist is clearly doing an extremely good job of defending, because he is still ahead of someone who had recently pitted for fresh tires. Well, I mean, good job to Mist, I guess. Ooh, side by side through Radion, and Spooky almost going off the track there, trying to keep it on the track. And and he does get past eventually, but he's gonna have to cover the inside as Mist is gonna try it around the outside here. Yes, he does. He brakes as late as he can, but it's not gonna be enough. I think Spooky finally has that position. He pulls out a little gap, and he is starting to get away. So that is Mist's attempt at completely slowing someone down. He's slowing Spooky down, and he's slowing himself down for, like I said, absolutely no reason at all, but to, I guess, the thrill of the fight. What he is doing is making the stream good. So thank you, Mist. Mist, that's literally your name, Mist. Thank you, Mr. Mist, for making the stream entertaining with your fighting of the lead cars. Anyway, let's hop on with Duan. Duan has actually gotten passed by Swin, and Swin has also overtaken Jay. Okay, kind of sad I missed that, but we were looking at the fight between the 2 Porsches. But Duan is also very close to the Ford here. And he's gonna... Ooh, Duan going wide of that corner. And is keeping it wide. He is not going back on the track. I'm guessing that is to stop him from getting a penalty. He's actually gained time on the Ford there. And I don't think he'll be getting a penalty for that since he stayed out for so long. He goes wide again. He completely cuts the corner. And slows himself down so he doesn't get a penalty. So very peculiar there from Valve's teammate. Valve's teammate being Duan, the man we are watching. Completely cuts the corner there. Slows himself down so he doesn't get the penalty. And he's therefore lost even more time trying to do that. And Kaz is now inched closer. So this looks like a fight between three manufacturers. All three manufacturers are having a fight here. It's very nice to see. While we wait for this to spice up, let us move further towards the front. Ness, someone who's still not pitted, he can actually pit this lap. So the pit window is open for the late runners. This means drivers like Reversal and the two other drivers behind him and a couple others, I'm sure an Am as well, will be able to pit this lap. After a long time, I'm sure, of lifting and coasting to save as much fuel as possible. The tires don't matter, you can just go as hard as you can on the tires and they'll survive forever. And so this is our lead car. Not much attention given to the lead car here, despite the fact that he is the lead car. So Reversal, starting on pole, gave himself a 5-second gap the last time we had a look at him, and is going for the late pit strategy. Let us see how this goes for him. Going through the last corner here, and there he goes into the pits. Pretty tricky pit entry there. And his AI is now taking control through the pits. We can get a nice view of the non-existent pit crew. I think this might be close. There's the shadow of his car weirdly on the outside of the pits instead of the inside, but whatever. That guy's arm is poking through that box there. Yeah, So yeah, I'm sure all of the drivers who went for a late pit strategy are going to be pitting now because of their poor fuel amounts. And Reversal, who is still ahead. So Reversal, who's gone for the late pit strategy and it's worked out for him as he's now ahead. He doesn't have to worry about saving fuel ever again for the rest of the race, as the drivers behind him now have to start worrying about that fuel amount for the rest of the race. So he is now in a very comfortable position to just go as fast as he can without having to worry about saving anything. But drivers like Sam and Swin is actually still in third. Okay, good job to you, Swin. Ooh, there is Mick coming out of the pits, and Duan might just get ahead of him here. It doesn't look like it though. He's going to be on cold tires going through Eau Rouge. He's going to lose him quite a bit of time, and Duan is coming very fast out of the corner exit, and it does seem to have more speed on the straight now. He's going to go around the outside. Oh no, Mick is not going to cover it off, and he's going to try it down the inside. Let's see, whoever breaks later gets a position, and it is Duan. So Duan who gets ahead of Mick. Mick is still very close, so ooh, when he goes it down the inside, it doesn't work out, and Duan goes wide, almost going sideways, but he keeps it straight, mostly. And so does Duan getting ahead of Mick. So time gained. Nice, very nice. Love it. Always good racing. I think this is very much comparable to Silverstone. But I did expect good racing from this track, as it is, you know, this track. Hello? Okay, there we go. Found Nods. Nods still leading the... Chicken in the lead of this race. Not too sure how he's done this amazing feat. Let's just have a look at his damage. Okay, so Chicken has not pitted yet. So Chicken still has to put. That does explain why he is in first, but I'm assuming that Nods has pitted as well. Otherwise, that is a bit of a disaster for him. Okay, so Nods... yeah, okay, so Nods did take the early pit window. That does explain his fuel levels and his tire wear. So there you go. Nods, who still has his position protected, because obviously Chicken will have to put this lap. His fuel is on 14%. And oh my. So I think that is very unfortunate for Chicken, actually. Chicken is going to be getting a penalty for pitting late. Because the pit window, the late pit window was 17 to 18. Is now lap 19. So Chicken is going to be getting a penalty for not putting within the pit window. That sure sucks, man. But I think, well, the pit windows are pretty clear to you, so you should know. There's our leader reversal. Let's hop on with him. So someone who's been leading the whole race, every single lap of the race so far, has been led by this man right here, Reversal. Reversal, who started the race on pole with a 2:18 lap time. He was the only driver to break into the 2:18s for qualifying. And he's also broken into the 2:18s for the race. So he does have the fastest lap of the race here, as well as that first place. He is 18 seconds ahead of Sam. So 18 seconds ahead of the nearest driver. Very good. Reversal is doing a Groevel, so I think the battle between Groevel and Reversal, when Groevel returns, will be a monumental one. And just a reminder, the next race is Le Mans. 2 hours of racing in total for Le Mans. So very excited for that. That'll be a great race, I'm sure. Long straights for the Porsche, because the Porsche OP in the straights. You know how it is. So I think Porsche has a pretty good chance to win. For Le Mans, considering the Porsche's straight speed. Never mind, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a little tired again. So I went to bed at 1:40 AM. Not the greatest time. But you know, my power was off 10 to 12. And I wanted to do some stuff. Look at that. Having a look at the damage there, you can actually see that the front tires take quite a beating compared to the rear tires. So almost a 5% difference between the front and rears. Those poor front tires. May they rest in peace. Let's just turn this damage off. And see if there are any fights happening. Ooh, and as we switch to it, there is a fight going on between Mick and Doohan. Wow, okay. Ooh, and Kaz actually taking advantage of the fight there. Is going to try and get that inside, but he didn't. Doohan is now alongside on the outside, but it does look like Mick is going to have to back out. Yeah, he did, so that is Doohan ahead of Mick once again, and Mick actually goes very wide through the corner and cuts it, and Kaz, where is Kaz in this? Kaz is actually side by side with him, so capitalizing on that mistake that Mick made, and Kaz is going to get ahead for the next corner. He's going to have to defend the inside. He doesn't, because Mick is not going to go for it. Some amazing midfield racing here. And also some great racing at the back. Not much going on in AM today, so pretty unfortunate for that. But there isn't too many AM drivers in general. Mick is gonna want that place back, because he was fighting Doohan until that mistake there through Radion, not Radion. Bruh. Reversal is now 20 seconds ahead of the nearest driver, so gained 2 seconds in that lap. Right, so this seemed to have calmed down. Let's hop on with someone like Jay Sentra, who's had his fair share of fights with a Porsche, that Porsche being missed. So where is Mist now? Mist is, yeah, Mist behind him. That's pretty much how it's been for pretty much the whole race. And Nods, the driver in first in AM, who is how many seconds ahead is he of the nearest driver? So Nods 9 seconds ahead of Law. So that is a good job by Nods there. But Law has made a good recovery. Law, who started in 4th, is now in 2nd. He was briefly in 1st after Nods was pushed wide by a Porsche. But Nods did take that place back after Law made a mistake going through Erosion Radion. Why do I keep saying Radion? Bruh. World's best commentator right here, guys. Oh, there's actually a fight going on at the back. All the way at the back of the entire pack, there is a fight going on. And we have less drivers than we had before. So who has DNF'd? So there's a fight between Sebastian, Sideways, and Sebastian actually goes very wide there, giving the place to, who is that? So Vona. So Vona who gets the place from Sebastian there. Sebastian, would it be Sebastian? Because there is an E instead of an A, but I thought, you know, because he's French. French, we've always had many French legends who have raced at the back, so I'm glad to see we have another French legend who is racing at the back. So it is now a fight between the Frenchman and that's not our chicken. Sideways, there we go. So it is a fight for 16th now between the not 16th, bro. That's 16th overall, but in AM. So it is a fight for 5th in GTM. Oh my god. Ooh! Sebastian pushing sideways into the wall there through that corner. That is something that will have to be looked at. So that is very unfortunate for Sideways, who had his car pushed into the wall there by Sebastian. That is either a racing incident or was it on purpose? No, it wasn't. Nobody would do that on purpose. Come on now. Okay, anyway. So probably just a mistake there, although he could have braked mid-corner there to stop that from happening. So I don't really know how that happened there. Because he kept plowing into him. He didn't, you know, hit the brakes at all. And he didn't stop to let Sideways by. Usually if you, you know, spin someone or put them into the wall, like Sideways was put into the wall there, you would usually wait up for them and let them pass you. Out of respect, but Sebastian did not do that. Not too sure. Oh. There he is. Let's go back with Sebastian. That is the driver who rear-ended Sideways and put him into the wall there. I don't know if it was on purpose. Being on purpose would be a bit of a stretch, I think. But he did not let off on the accelerator while putting him into the wall there. Could have just been fought to glue. Fought to glue is a thing. I'm not too sure how it works with rear ending. And Sebastian actually making quite a few mistakes there on the corner exit. He went very wide on that other corner exit there. I think that is, it's not Puon. It's just before Puon, I think. I don't know how track works. The track that's double yeah, I'm not reading that. Ain't no way, bro. Here's Sideways, who has been lapped by Reversal. Reversal lapping the first AM driver here of the race. So the first driver to be lapped is Sideways. So very unfortunate for Sideways there, who was fighting for position and then got sort of just rammed out of the way into the wall. Let's hop on with our Lord and Savior Valve. Valve, as usual, literally this guy, he just has to have a lonely race, so it's just not a race at all. Every race I've seen Valve compete in, it's always been a lonely race towards the end. He's never been okay, well, he is sort of near a driver, but he's not. He's quite far away. That is quite a gap between I think that is a Ford sandwich there, quite a wide Ford sandwich. Yes, that is a Ford sandwich for Valve, so Valve in a Ford sandwich, very nice. I think I would like to be in a Ford sandwich. It sounds pretty good to me. I'm being 200% honest. I am 200. Oh, all mine got. Wait. Okay, Mick. I see on the little thing that Mick was 3/10 behind Kez, which means he is close. So it is now a fight for 5th. That is 5th in GTE Pro and 5th overall. Spooky is kind of just sitting there in the background for the Le Mans. I think Spooky could be ahead of these drivers if he wasn't held up by by Mist. Ooh, Kimi giving it everything through that corner, and is actually caught up, and is. I don't think he's gonna have much of an advantage on the straight because of the Porsche speed, but I think he should look down the inside for an opportunity there. He is moving. Oh no, okay, no. I thought he was moving to the inside, but he's not gonna do that. I think probably a good idea, I guess. I don't know. What do I know? As a measly commentator. So hopefully we do get a fight eventually. Just overtaking. This is kind of just them playing NASCAR. But I do want to see some overtaking between these two drivers. But I'm not too sure, We do see Fords closer than they usually are, because, yeah, the Ford is the fastest car on this track, I predict. Well, not just I predict, but quite a few people predicted that, or said that. The Ford I tested felt very, very good on this track, and unlike the other two Pro cars, it was planted. It just stuck to the track. The other two Pro cars, being the BMW and the Porsche, were sliding through every single corner and were hard to just, keep control of in general. So the drivers in those two other cars are working magic, because they are having to work with a pretty feisty car. They need to get done. My power goes off in 5 minutes. It's only lap 24 of 27. This was a 26 lap race plus the one formation lap. And so Reversal's actually overtaken or lapped Sebastian. There is your third place driver. Someone who started third and is looking to finish third. And same for Sam, so nothing has changed for the top three at all. There was no fights between them, because they all sort of just ran away from each other in the first bit of the race. So unlike the last race, the complete opposite of the last race, the top three are far away from each other. In Silverstone, the top three are always fighting, and it was a fight for first for pretty much the whole race between the top three drivers. The top three drivers last race was Kaz, Reversal, and the Le Mans car. I think it was the Le Mans car of Spooky, if I'm just remembering correctly. Let's go to Jay, who looked like he's just made a pass and missed there. Oh, Jay is missing the rear right light, the brake light. He's missing that one, so we might just have to give him a ticket for that. Obviously, I'm kidding. We are not cops, I think. I think Jay Centro made a move. I'm not too sure if Jay was already ahead of Mist before that move, but it did look like it. And so our DNFs are... I'll have a look at our DNFs in a second there. Nods still leads in AM, with Lord just behind him by about 8 seconds. So Ewan and TK are the DNFs for this race. Don't worry about DJ, because DJ is our safety car. I saw 210s. This is actually getting very close. So Mist and Jay Centro, yeah, fighting for the whole race. Well, not the whole race, but most of the race actually, because it was that quiet time between the pit strategies. And so Mist has caught back up to Jay after they fought in the beginning of the race. Quite a chaotic fight that was. So not gonna... Ooh, brakes very late there. Much later than Jay. Catches up to him through the braking. We have seen Mist quite often catching up to the braking, and is now side by side with the Ford going around the outside. I think he's actually going to make the move before the corner. Yes, he does. So he does get the inside there with that Porsche straight line speed. And Jay goes very wide. Not like very wide, just somewhat wide. He went wide, was the point. You're only on lap 25. Oh my god, my poor power. So hopefully my power won't go off before this race ends, because it's 1 minute away. I must have faith in reversal to get this done. So Mr. is pulling out from Jay. So I think that puts Mist into 4th. Let's just have a look. So Nods, this is for GTE Am, how it's going in GTE Am. We have Nods in 1st. Here he is in the factory Corvette. Law in 2nd, Chicken in 3rd, Vona in 4th, Sideways in... What? What am I looking at? I'm looking at Am. Why am I looking at Am? I'm supposed to be looking at Pro. Yeah, okay, yeah, that Mist is 10th overall. And Jay is last in Pro. Where is Seb? So Seb has actually DNF'd. I'm not too sure why. It might have just been internet cut, maybe. Yeah, there it is. So Sebastian has DNF'd for a reason I do not know. It is now the second last lap for these drivers in reversal, just lapping Chicken. What a legend, Chicken, you know, great name, great car, great driving. Ooh, go Chicken, is all I can say. For some reason, every time I see Reversal's car, I read pepperoni instead of Peroni on his car. So maybe you should just change that to pepperoni for me, Reversal, please. I need pepperoni on the side of the car instead of Peroni. Thank you, in advance. Okay. So it is now 10 PM, so my power could go off at any moment. So if my power goes off, just know that Reversal probably won. And all those standings you see now are probably the finishes. Alright, give me a second here. Alright, it is now the last lap. Our leader is Reversal. Reversal is far ahead of the other two drivers, being the second or third of Sam and Swin. Three DNFs. Okay, that's alright. Reversal with the fastest lap, a 2:18.2, so that is the fastest lap ever done on this track by a driver so far. 2:18.2, that is just during the race and qualifying. I'm not too sure about practice. Practice, I'm not going to count here, but just in qualifying and the race in general, that is the fastest lap done by a driver. And so nearing the end of this race, he has gained 30 seconds to the driver that's closest to him in 26 laps. That is very impressive. That is Gruwel level stuff. So I'm expecting some fights between these two in the future. Just a reminder, if I suddenly go quiet and the stream ends, that is because my power went out. So just, you might as well expect the standings that you see up there to be the finishes. And so Reversal, who's now going through the last few corners here. So Reversal being the man who finished third in the last race, that last race being Silverstone. And he has come for his first win here, going through the last two corners. He has come for that win, he's taken that win, and he wins the 1 hour of Silverstone. Very good job to Reversal, pulled out 30 seconds to the nearest driver, and that is your winner right there for GTE Pro. Let's move on to Sam. Sam, who, let's just have a look, finished 6th last race at Silverstone, is coming to the finish line in 2nd. So a very good job to him there as well. And just behind him is the driver Swin. He finished 5th last race, finishes 3rd. A podium for Swin. And Kaz, who finished 1st last race, finishes 4th. And there are a bunch of drivers behind him as well, including Duan, Mick and Spooky, and Valve, who's in 8th. So Valve finishing 8th, that is an improvement from the last race. So good job to everyone in Pro so far. And so here is our AM driver all the way across the track from the Pro drivers. So this man right here, Nods, who finished the last race in 4th, looks to be winning the race here. And Sideways has actually won the last race in GT AM and is finishing all the way in last. Here he comes rounding the last corner, and that is Nods to win in Spa. Good job to him, winning for the factory team there. Very, very good job. And Law has been keeping it very consistent with the 2nd places, gets another 2nd place there. And Chicken here to claim another podium. Has been very consistent with his 3rd places so far. He's actually caught up to Reversal's AI. And there is a Chicken for 3rd, although who is right behind Chicken there? Fona. So Chicken, I presume, might get a penalty for putting late. And Fona might actually be the one to finish in 3rd. Just a reminder, if I suddenly disappear and the stream ends, just know that my powers went out and I'm 7 minutes over time, so it's bound to go off any second now. Just have a look as Sideways, after a pretty hectic incident there, getting pushed into the wall by Sebastian, finished his last after finishing 1st the last race. Good job to absolutely everyone. It was a great race. Thank you for making it a great race, and thanks to those who watch the replay. Here are your quick finishing results.